Bryant Johnson with you as we wrap up this week's edition of Grizzly Connect with senior ASC cross-country runner Nathan Sellers, fifth year here. Yep. Wednesday night, found out you were named the RMAC Runner of the Week for your performance in the 8K. This is the first time this award has been bestowed upon you. Who told you? What was your first reaction?
The person who first told me was actually a teammate's mother. Told me on Facebook, and I was like, what? No way. And then she sent me a link to the site, and I was like, oh wow. So I was just pretty excited. It's my first step towards being one of the top runners of the program. So
last week, Nathan ran in the Joe I. Vigil Open for the first time in his career. You were able to bring in the third fastest time in the 8K since 2005, top collegiate runner in the event as well. You've been looking at this event for a long time, I'm sure, wanting to participate in it. It happened. You had an unbelievable result. When you crossed the finish line, what was that moment like?
Actually, my first instinct was to run to the end of the chute and run back to see how the rest of my team finished. And so when I ran back and I was looking at how we were finishing, I wasn't sure if we were going to win or not. And yeah, so I was just real happy that I was able to contribute so well to our team.
It must have been a mix of emotions. You're taking on the number 2 team in the country. They're, Western State's your biggest rival, and we know that you're going to go toe-to-toe with them for a national championship this year. We all know what the rivalry consists of in basketball and football. Explain to me what the rivalry with Western State is all about in cross-country.
In cross-country, it's when Western State gets to put their best distance runners against our best, and it's a lot different than track because we're all split up into different events. But in cross country, we're all running the same event, and we both want that title more than the other team. So it gets pretty heated.
How well do you know the Western athletes, and before a meet, what type of conversation exists between you and them?
Not much before, but at least afterwards we were able to, shake hands, talk a little bit, joke a little bit about the race. So I think that's moving forward, and we're going to have a fun season this next year.
Well, they have to head to Gunnison in the coming weeks for the Mountaineer Invite. I'm sure they will be looking for a little bit of payback. Nathan ran the 5-mile course with an average mile time of 4 minutes and 53 seconds. Where are you at when you're practicing? What number are you hitting consistently when you're running the mile or 5 miles? What are you averaging on your own?
When we're taking on practices, we're running about 8 miles at around 5 minutes and 20 seconds. So, we're not nearly close to that race time, but we do shorter stuff, split it up a little bit so we can hit those faster times, get our legs used to it.
When you were at Cattails Golf Course in Alamosa last week and we're chatting with Nathan Sellers with the ASC cross-country team, at what point could you tell that you were putting together quite the course? And what's that moment like when you've been practicing at about 27 seconds slower and now you're at 4:53? When does that moment hit you?
I honestly couldn't hear any of the mile splits or anything, so I wasn't sure how fast I was running. I was just trying to catch whoever was in front of me, so that's pretty much how I gauged my pace off of.
When you have to work every year, and I'm not saying you weren't a hyped freshman and sophomore, but you really had to improve, and by your junior and senior season, it was apparent Coach Martin was going to really rely on you a lot more. But when you're not among some of the top runners early on, there have to be some days where maybe you wake up and you're not as energetic and wanting to run. What time, if any, do you remember waking up early in your career at ASC and thinking, man, I don't really want to run today?
Well, actually, I feel like that every day, but, we got to get out there and we got to push it every single day. But you just got to will yourself to do it. Just like in a race, you have to will yourself to keep going, to push that extra bit just to keep up with people who might be faster than you, but you just got to be there mentally.
you know all of Coach Martin's tricks. You know all of the challenges that he's presented to you on those Sunday morning runs. If I'm a high school senior and I get paired up with you on my recruiting visit to ASC, how much of that would you reveal to me when it comes to giving these future athletes the full Damon Martin experience, Mount Blanca, going to Leadville, all the things that he likes to do?
You know, I mean, I'd really refer that. I'd say, hey, if you want, you can add us on Facebook and check out some of the pictures that we've posted. I mean, you know, it's tough work, but I think when athletes see the pictures and, you know, that excitement that we have when we do those kinds of things, I think they'd really appreciate it and they'd understand why we all came here.
You're a California native, lived in the Central Coast. How much of an influence did Colorado have when you were deciding to grow a beard?
Well, actually, there's a few. We have a lot more guys on the team right now that can grow a beard than we have in the past couple of years I've been here.
You've taken notes.
So, you know, that we're all just growing it out just for fun, and you know, it probably will help when it gets a little bit colder out here pretty soon.
Who has the best beard on the team?
They tell me I do, but you know, some of the guys keep it pretty trim, so I don't know. We're just gonna have to see.
Coach Martin alerted us of a video that may exist of him dancing after an accomplishment was reached by his team. I'm trying to get some info on this dance video that Damon took part in, and can you give me more of an in-depth response to how this was set up and how in the world you convinced Damon Martin to dance on camera?
Well, we were having a barbecue at his house, and you know, the Wii dance was set up, and the whole team wanted him to dance, and he just absolutely would not dance. And I'm like, all right, Coach, you know what? I mean, what place do I have to get at nationals to get you to get up there and dance? And he told me I'd have to get top 3. So I took about 3 seconds to think about it and said, all right, I'll do it. And he got up there and he started dancing to a Elvis Presley song about Vegas and just went crazy. Really got into it.
So that's for this year, senior season, top 3. I mean, after this week, it must seem like a very plausible accomplishment you can reach. Where would you stand right now with the numbers you've put forth? Where would you be nationally?
I'd say I might be like in the top 5 to top 10, and you know, I think if I keep working with this team and, you know, we just stick together, we'll be able to. I think they're going to help me be able to reach that. So,
Nathan, best of luck.
Thank you.
It's Nathan Sellers with the ASC cross country team. And of course, you can get more update information on Nathan. Watch his video bio on the ASCGrizzlies.com website under men's cross country, and check out the entire team as they prepare for the invite this weekend in Springs, and also with Gunnison and the season in full swing. A lot to look forward to with Nathan and the ASC cross country team. With Grizzly Connect, I'm Bryant Johnson.